If you're really in your feels right now, this one is for you. Chiron, which represents the healing journey, is stationing retrograde right now. On July 26th, Chiron, the most well known centaur of our solar system, and perhaps even in mythology, is going to be stationing retrograde at 23 degrees Aries in 32 minutes. Now, Chiron is often understood as the wounded healer or as the wound. But while I have definitely seen Chiron show up as signifying some core wound or story in a person's life, in a person's chart, I see Chiron transits like this show up so much as part of the healing journey. Now, many of you may not feel this Chiron retrograde, and that's okay. But some of you are having Chiron transits right now. And if that is you, then you're definitely going to be tuning into this transit. You are going to be feeling this station if you have planets on or around 23 degrees of the cardinal signs. And maybe you're getting some trines there in the fire signs too. This can also be very supportive for you there. Um, Chiron, if you're having Chiron transits, you are probably on some sort of healing journey of some kind. When we're having Chiron transits, it's not always that we're having an experience that is wounding, but it's that we're aware that we have been wounded and we are aware that we want some help. So I see Chiron showing up so much as mentorship because when you're on a healing journey, you seek assistance. You seek the support and wisdom of people who have been down that path before, or people who have acquired expertise in a modality that can be really supportive for you at this time. But very often, it's the very work of healing ourselves that leads us into a vocation. So, very often, there's a similar thread here that very often the healer is able to heal because of their own experience of healing themselves. So that is why Chiron represents the wounded healer, because we see it so much. We see it in astrology. How do you think I became an astrologer? I've been there. I've been there. And how do you think these yoga teachers became yoga teachers? Because they needed to learn how to breathe deeper. And I've been there. And it's the same thing with like I think a lot of people forget that when you come to receive healing or guidance from someone that we're not perfect. We've been there. We've been wounded ourselves. We're on that journey ourselves. We're on that continuous journey. You're never fully you can never fully heal from something. And that's what Chiron represents is that there's always going to be a scar. Even if you are fully healed, and you feel like that experience is behind me, that experience doesn't get erased. That experience doesn't go away. It becomes a part of you. Just like that scar becomes a part of you. And that scar, every scar tells a story. And that's the energy of Chiron right now. So if you're feeling this Chiron station retrograde, let me tell you, if you're deep on that healing journey, this is your stuff is going to be coming up around this. So get ready. Just be open to what am I meant to see? What's the lesson here? Where's the opportunity here? Because healing is so gradual. It's always about taking little steps forward. And I think that direct motion of Chiron and the retrograde motion of Chiron speaks to that. Like we're taking steps forward and then comes up again. We just get better at dealing with it or expanding our toolbox each and every time. Sometimes we need to get new tools in order to help ourselves be strong and to thrive. So think about Chiron as mentorship here. If your Chiron wound is coming up a lot around this station, time to reach out for some support. Who can help you on this journey? Who can help you on this journey of healing or self-awareness? Look to the practitioners here, or look to the doctors or facilitators here. This is an opportunity for you to maybe discover a new tool. Remember, Mars is in Gemini now, and Mercury is in Virgo. Mercury is going to be entering Virgo. here. So yeah, like it's time. Like, yeah, actually, Mercury is in Virgo now. So it's time to learn something new. So if you're feeling this Chiron station, then maybe that's where the learning comes in for you, is how can I learn something new to gather new support instead of reacting and falling into the same defensive patterns that I do to protect myself? What can I learn here? So, since Chiron entered Aries in 2018, I've really been seeing an intensification of the theme around healing the collective wound of being a sovereign individual. Because living in the modern era, you would think that, just being born the way that you are would be enough of a birthright to exist freely. But for many of us, our identities are under attack. And since Chiron entered Aries in 2018, I've seen an intensification of that kind of rhetoric. And now we're seeing policies, more and more policies, trying to regulate selfhood, trying to regulate personhood. And yeah, like the very pains of being oneself, the adversities we face in the collective to be our authentic selves, that's Chiron in Aries. And I know many of you are feeling this way. And what I would like to go back to as Chiron stations retrograde here is, how can we learn from our elders? Because remember, Chiron's orbit goes between Saturn, which is like the wisdom, the time the time trusted wisdom, and also Uranus, which wants to shatter the glass ceiling. How can we stand on the shoulders of our elders who have come before us, who have paved the way for courage and bravery in this moment? Like, now is the time to fight even harder, for not just for you, because I know a lot of people might be watching this video and thinking like, well, I'm fine, I can be myself. But imagine if you couldn't. Imagine if you couldn't. Imagine if you faced like if you feared for your life, or if you feared for your safety, just to be who you are. And just know that there are young people out there are children out there are adults out there who are fighting for the right to exist now. And I say to you to remember that people are afraid to just be themselves. And so there's still work to be done here. Obviously, I would say, like, where can we find inspiration in order to continue to be a voice for the right for people to be themselves, and how can we advocate for ourselves? So remember, Chiron in Aries it's all about like highlighting the wound. It highlights where there is work that still needs to be done, and it helps us drop into that feeling experience of that so that we can be moved by that. And then the solution component is support, the elders, the way showers, the wisdom. Where can we be inspired by that in order to bring that needle a little bit further? So that's how I'm feeling inspired by this Chiron retrograde station. I hope that if you are feeling this one, that you feel supported by your community. And I hope that you feel empowered by this transit, as there's all this other planetary support, which is showing us ways to find new and creative solutions. So that's your astrology shot of the day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also head on over to my website, catherineurban.com, where you can book your next astrology reading. We'll go into depth into your natal chart, your progressions, your perfections, your solar return, your transits, and beyond. You can also join my mailing list, where you can stay up to date with me on new classes as well as article drops. I look forward to connecting with you, and I'll see you next time.